What's up, YouTube? It is a beautiful day here in Texas, finally. I am going to take the Ferrari out for a little bit and self-quarantine. Well, a few of you have emailed in and asked some questions, and I really appreciate that. So we're gonna go up to a local park and we'll hang out and I'll answer some questions for you. Let's start with this one, obviously. All right, so the first one is, why do you call it Mr. Nobody's Garage? I'm nobody. I am not, your VinWiki guys. I am not, your Rob Pitts, your Tavarish, all these huge YouTube guys. I'm Mr. Nobody. I'm just a little guy who builds stuff in his garage, and I just like sharing it with people. When I started the channel, I never really set out to I'm going to start a YouTube channel and I'm going to be a millionaire. It just started as, hey, I've got these cars. I think they're pretty cool. Some other people might like them. So I'm going to document what I'm doing to them and put it on YouTube. I've got, 103 subscribers right now, which is nothing in the world of YouTube. But to you 103 people who have subscribed, I do appreciate it very much. So thank you guys for that. So that's it. That's why I'm Mr. Nobody's Garage. I am Mr. Nobody. What was your first car? That's a good one. My first car I got when I was 14 years old. My dad and I bought a Bradley GT2. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's basically a fiberglass gull wing body, like a DeLorean, and it sits on a Volkswagen pan. So it was a little kit car with a Volkswagen motor. And when I was 14, that was the engine that I first learned how to work on engines and rebuilding and stuff with my dad. We tore it all down. I just had every nut and bolt from that thing spread out across the garage. So I was interested in cars, but that's what really kind of took it over the top, was being able to work in the garage with my dad and rebuild that car. And when I turned 16, that was my first car. I drove it to high school for about a year and a half. And then I took it out to the ballpark in Arlington for this swap meet that they used to have, and I ended up trading that VW kit car for what would be my second car, and that is what I drove through college, was a 1957 Chevy 150 sedan, the two-door post, and that was an awesome car. I love that car. I went into debt with that car. That's a story for another time, but such a cool car, and that's what got me into the classic cars and stuff like that. I know where that car is. I tracked it down. Again, that's a story for another time, but I'll tell you guys about it in another video. We'll cover some of the old cars and classic cars and the ones that got away type stories and stuff. So if you guys have a story about a car that you feel like got away and you'd love to find it again, send me pictures, send me an email. I'd love to hear about it. They're fun stories to hear from people. What has been your favorite car? Oh, goodness. You know what? My favorite car so far, well, that's a tough one. So this Ferrari is the one that I've lusted after since I was, 7, 8 years old. But that 57 Chevy, I poured my blood, sweat, tears into that car and spent so much time, so much money just redoing that car, enjoying that car, showing that car. That's got to be one of my favorites, the 57 Chevy 150. Now, one of these days, I will go after another one. For now, I'm happy working on the stuff that I've got, playing with this stuff. These exotics are fun, especially these older cars. So, they're all really my favorites, but that 57 Chevy 150 will always hold a special place in my heart. Next question, how many cars do you actually have? Well, at one time I had 12 cars. Now I'm down to 4 cars, not including my wife's car and my truck, my daily driver, just a F-150. So I have the Dodge pickup truck, the D150. I have the LTD wagon. I have the Ferrari and the Pantera. I sold the 94 Cobra. So yeah, 4 cars now. What other cars do you plan on buying? That's an easy question. All the cars. I want them all. No, gosh, if I had a shop, I mean, that thing would probably be full of cars. There's so many cars that I love. So I'd really like to find a VW Corrado, like early 90s, 90 to 92 VW Corrado. Put a little VR6 in it. I think that'd be a fun car. I have been looking at like the 03 to 05 Mercedes SL500s. I'd like to do a manual conversion on one of those cars, maybe even do like an LS swap with a 6-speed. I think that would just be a fun car to cruise, really make just kind of a touring car out of. I'm that guy that's always sitting around playing on Facebook Marketplace, looking for good deals, looking for just obscure cars, you know, the older 80s, 90s stuff. That's what really appeals to me lately. So who knows, maybe another Mustang. Like I said, I'd love to buy them all. Besides car shows, are you going to cover any other car events? Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, I really want to start covering like the autocross events. I used to autocross in a Mustang that I had, and I'd really like to build something to start doing that again. Also, Eagles Canyon has opened back up, and I heard it is amazing since they've redone that track. So maybe this car or build another car to take out and do some track days. The channel is very new and it's kind of evolving, but pretty much anything automotive related I'm into. So yes, I do want to start getting into more than just, you know, covering cars and coffee and stuff like that. Those events are fun, but you know, I want to do like some day cruises, maybe like a weekend event, just maybe get 5 or 6 cars together, you know, blast down to Austin, do the hill country, stuff like that. Do some, you know, just some small weekend rallies, things like that. We'll see. I've got some ideas. We'll see how they play out. When are you going to finish the Pantera? Gosh, that car is killing me. So I pulled that motor out back in November, and it's just been one headache after another, unfortunately. My plan was to originally have that car done and at the Good Guys show in March. Unfortunately, the Good Guys show got canceled at the last second, but that's okay. The Pantera wasn't done anyway. The engine shop had my motor for about 12 weeks. I went a little over budget having the ZF transmission rebuilt, but that's okay. I've been working with Competition Cams trying to get my lifters sorted out and get the correct ones. I just got an email back from the guy this morning. It's been like 2 weeks. So they just can't get it figured out and get them shipped to me. So I don't know what's going on with them. That's really what's holding me up right now. As soon as that stuff comes in, I've already built the bottom end of that motor, so I'm ready to put the rest of this stuff together. So to answer your question, when are you going to finish the Pantera? The short of it is as soon as I possibly can. Since we're all kind of quarantined, you know, it sucks. Everybody's just kind of sitting at home, and you know, I feel for you guys. We're all in the same boat together. Just do your part and stay healthy, and hopefully this stuff will be over soon, and then we can all get back out and start enjoying all these cars together. All right, well, that's that, guys. Hey, I'm gonna keep this video short. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please do follow along on some of these builds and hit the like button, hit subscribe. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you soon. Stay hungry, stay foolish, and stay healthy.